Welcome to Smart English Coach Podcast.
Let's improve your fluency together, one real conversation at a time.
You know that feeling when you understand English perfectly. You watch the movie, you read the article, you follow everything, but then someone asks you a question in English and your mouth just freezes.
Oh my goodness, yes, that is me. That is literally me every single time.
It happens to millions of people, and today we are going to talk about exactly that, why your mouth freezes, why your brain feels slow, and most importantly, how to train your mouth to actually speak English naturally in daily life.
And we're not talking about grammar rules or memorizing vocabulary lists. We're talking about real, practical things you can do starting today to make your English flow.
So whether you're listening while you're driving, cooking, working out, or just relaxing, stick around, because by the end of this conversation, you're going to understand something about English speaking that most people never figure out.
Let's get into it.
Okay, Sarah, let's start with the big question. Why does this happen? You understand English, you've studied it for years maybe, but when it's time to speak, nothing comes out.
I've been there. When I first started, I could read an English book, no problem. But then a native speaker would say, "Hey, how's it going?" And I would just blank, complete blank.
Right. And here's the thing. It's not because you're not smart. It's not because your English is bad. It's because understanding a language and producing a language are two completely different skills.
Wait, really? Like they use different parts of the brain?
Exactly. Think about it this way. When you listen or read, your brain is in receiving mode. It's just taking in information. But when you speak, your brain has to do about 5 things at the same time. It has to find the words, put them in order, think about pronunciation, control your mouth muscles, and keep listening to the other person.
No wonder it's exhausting.
It really is. And here's a word I want you to remember. Automaticity. Say it with me. Automaticity.
Automaticity.
Good. Automaticity means doing something automatically, without thinking. When you drive a car, you don't think, okay, now press the clutch, now change the gear. You just do it. Your hands and feet know what to do.
Because you've practiced it so many times, it becomes automatic.
Exactly. And that's what we need with English speaking. We need to practice until the words come out automatically, without translating in your head, without stopping to think about grammar.
But how? That's the part people struggle with, right? Like they know they need to practice, but they don't know how to practice the right way.
That's the key, and we're going to break it down step by step. But first, let's talk about the biggest mistake people make when they try to improve their speaking.
Oh, I already know what you're going to say.
What?
They study grammar instead of actually speaking.
You're half right, but the biggest mistake is they wait. They wait until they feel ready. They say to themselves, I'll start speaking English when my grammar is perfect, when my vocabulary is good enough, when I'm confident enough.
And that day never comes.
That day never comes, because confidence in speaking doesn't come before practice. It comes from practice. You don't get confident first and then speak. You speak, and then slowly you get confident.
That's actually a really important mindset shift. Like you have to flip it around.
Completely flip it. And there's an expression in English, fake it till you make it. It means act confident even before you feel confident, and eventually, the real confidence follows.
I love that expression. Fake it till you make it.
Remember that one. Okay, so let's get practical. One of the reasons people struggle to speak English is something called muscle memory, or in the context of language, mouth muscle memory.
Mouth muscle memory. That sounds interesting. What does that mean exactly?
So your mouth, your lips, your tongue, your jaw, they are trained from childhood to make the sounds of your native language. Those muscles have been doing the same movements for 20, 30, 40 years. And then suddenly you ask them to make completely new sounds.
Like the th sound. Oh, the th sound.
The th sound. That one gives people so much trouble because in most languages there is no th. Your tongue has never had to go between your teeth to make a sound. So the first time you try it, it feels completely unnatural.
I remember practicing this, that, the, and I kept saying dis, dat, day, like a cartoon character.
And that's totally normal, by the way. You weren't failing. Your mouth muscles were just learning something new. It's like going to the gym for the first time. The first day, you can barely lift anything, but you keep going, and slowly the muscles get stronger and more flexible.
So speaking English is basically a physical workout.
In a way, yes. And just like the gym, you have to be consistent. You can't go to the gym once a month and expect results. You have to train a little bit every day.
So what are some specific exercises people can do, like actual mouth training?
Great question. First, shadowing. This is one of the most powerful techniques out there. Shadowing means you listen to a native English speaker and you repeat what they say immediately, almost at the same time, like a shadow following a person.
So you don't wait until they finish. You speak while they're speaking.
Exactly. And what this does is train your mouth to match the rhythm, the speed, the intonation, the stress patterns of natural English. Not just the words, but the music of the language.
Oh, I like that. The music of the language.
English has a very specific rhythm. There are stressed words and unstressed words. Some words almost disappear when native speakers talk fast. For example, I am going to go to the store. A native speaker says, I'm going to go to the store. That going to almost becomes gonna.
And then learners are like, wait, what did they just say?
Right. So with shadowing, you start to absorb those natural patterns. You start to sound more natural without even trying. There's a phrasal verb for this, to pick up. You pick up the rhythm, you pick up the pronunciation, almost without realizing it.
Pick up, as in to learn something naturally without formal studying.
Exactly. I picked up some Spanish when I was living in Mexico. No classes, no textbooks, just living in the environment and absorbing it.
So shadowing kind of simulates that immersive environment.
Perfectly said. And you can shadow anything. Podcasts, YouTube videos, movies, TV shows, even this podcast right now. Pause us, repeat what we said, try to match the tone and speed. That's shadowing.
Okay, so we talked about mouth muscles, shadowing, but there's something I want to bring up because I think it's the real game changer for speaking.
What's that?
Thinking in English.
Oh, yes. Yes. This is huge.
Because I think a lot of learners, they're speaking English, but they're thinking in their native language. Like, they think the sentence in their native language first, translate it in their head, and then say it in English.
And by the time they finish translating, the conversation has moved on.
Exactly. It's like trying to watch a live tennis match while reading the subtitles of a different game.
That's a great way to put it. And the translation habit is one of the hardest things to break because it feels safer. It feels like if I translate first, at least I know what I want to say.
But it slows you down massively.
It does. And here's the thing. Native speakers don't think about their words. They just talk. The words are already there, ready to go. That's because their brain has stored language as chunks, not as individual words.
Chunks. Can you explain that?
Sure. A chunk is a group of words that go together naturally, like, by the way. To be honest, it depends. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, these are all chunks, fixed phrases that native speakers use all the time without thinking.
So they're not building sentences word by word. They're pulling out ready-made phrases.
Exactly. It's like cooking. A beginner chef has to look up the recipe for every single step, but a professional chef has cooked so many times that their hands just know what to do. They've stored the movements in their body.
So how do you build that chunk library in your brain?
By exposure and repetition. The more you hear a phrase, the more you see it, the more you use it, it gets stored as a unit. And then when you need it, it just pops out automatically.
Pop out, another phrasal verb.
Yes, to pop out means to appear suddenly. The answer just popped into my head. Very natural expression.
So if people want to think in English, they need to first build this chunk library, this collection of natural phrases that they can just pull out when they need them.
Right. And the best way to do that is to stop studying isolated words. Instead of learning the word agree, learn the phrase, I couldn't agree more, or I see where you're coming from, but learn the whole expression, not just the word.
That's such a different approach to studying vocabulary.
It is. And it makes your English sound so much more natural because that's how native speakers talk. They're not using perfect textbook sentences. They're using these natural, flowing chunks of language.
Hey, real quick, if you're finding this helpful, do us a favor and hit that like button. It really helps this channel reach more people who are learning English just like you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new episode. We put out new conversations every week.
And leave us a comment below. We read every single one. Tell us, what's the hardest part of speaking English for you? Is it pronunciation? Finding the right words? The speed? Let us know. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so let's talk about daily habits, because I think people hear practice every day and they think, okay, that means I need to sit at a desk for 2 hours with a textbook.
Which nobody has time for.
Nobody. But the truth is, speaking practice doesn't have to be formal. It doesn't have to be structured. Some of the most effective practice happens in tiny moments throughout your day.
Give me some examples.
Okay, first one, talk to yourself. I know that sounds a little crazy.
Just a little.
But seriously, when you're making coffee in the morning, describe what you're doing in English. I'm filling the kettle. The water is boiling. I'm putting 2 spoonfuls of coffee in the mug. Simple narration. Your mouth is moving. You're making sounds in English. You're building that automaticity.
And nobody thinks you're weird because you're alone in your kitchen.
Exactly. Or when you're driving, instead of listening to music, talk out loud about your day. Today I have a meeting at 10. I need to call my friend back. I'm a little tired because I slept badly. Just talk.
So you're basically turning your daily life into English practice without adding any extra time.
0 extra time. You're already doing those activities. You're just adding English to them.
I want to add one more to that list, recording yourself.
Oh yes, very powerful.
I know a lot of people hate hearing their own voice. I'm one of them.
Most people are.
But recording yourself speaking English and then listening back, it's uncomfortable, but it's incredibly useful because you hear things you never noticed. Oh, I say every 5 seconds. Oh, I'm rushing through that sentence. Oh, my pronunciation of that word is totally wrong.
And here's an important word, self-awareness. Being aware of your own mistakes is the first step to fixing them. You can't improve what you can't see, or in this case, hear.
Self-awareness. I like that.
Another great daily habit, and this one is really underrated, is reading out loud.
Reading out loud?
Yes, most people read silently, but when you read out loud, your eyes, your brain, and your mouth are all working together. You're training your mouth to form English sounds, you're training your eyes to recognize words quickly, and your brain is processing meaning. It's like a triple workout.
Wow, I never thought about it like that. So what should you read?
Anything you enjoy. News articles, short stories, books, even social media posts. The content matters less than the habit. Just 10 minutes of reading out loud every day makes a huge difference over weeks and months.
And speaking of enjoying the content, I think that's actually really important for motivation. If you're forcing yourself to practice with boring material, you'll quit.
100%. That's why we always say, find English content that genuinely interests you. If you love cooking, watch English cooking videos. If you love sports, follow sports news in English. If you love fashion, read fashion blogs in English. The language becomes attached to something you already care about.
So it doesn't feel like studying, it feels like just living your life in English.
Exactly. And that's the goal ultimately, not to study English, but to live in English.
Okay, I want to talk about something that I think is the #1 reason people don't speak English, even when they know how to, and that's fear of embarrassment.
Oh, this is so real.
Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding stupid, fear of people correcting you, fear of not being understood. It's like this invisible wall between what you know and what you actually say.
And I think this fear is cultural too. In some cultures, making mistakes in public is considered shameful. You're expected to be perfect or stay silent, and that mindset is so damaging for language learning.
Because language learning is all about making mistakes.
That's literally how it works. There is no shortcut. Every single person who speaks a second language fluently went through a phase where they sounded awkward, made grammar mistakes, used the wrong word, got confused. Every single one.
Can I share a story?
Please.
So I remember the first time I tried to order food at a restaurant in English. I was so nervous. I had practiced what I wanted to say at home. I'd like the chicken sandwich, please. Simple,
That's a good sentence.
right? But when I got to the counter, the person asked me a question I wasn't expecting. They said, "Would you like that toasted?" And I just froze. I had no idea what toasted meant in that moment. My mind went blank. I just stared at them.
What did you do?
I said yes, even though I didn't know what I was agreeing to.
And did everything turn out okay?
I got a toasted sandwich, which was actually delicious. But the point is, I survived. The world didn't end. Nobody laughed at me. The person behind the counter was completely normal about it. And after that experience, I was less scared because I realized it's fine. People are not waiting for you to make mistakes so they can judge you.
That's such an important realization. Most native speakers, when someone is speaking English as a second language, they respect it. They think, wow, this person knows another language. They're not sitting there judging your grammar.
And even if you make a mistake and someone corrects you, that's not something to be ashamed of. That's actually helpful.
Absolutely. There's a phrase for this: embrace the discomfort. It means don't run away from the uncomfortable feeling, run toward it. Every time you feel that fear before speaking English, that's your cue to speak anyway. That's where the growth is.
On the other side of fear is fluency.
I love that. On the other side of fear is fluency. That should be on a poster somewhere.
All right, I want to teach you guys something super practical right now. These are filler phrases, little expressions that native speakers use all the time to keep the conversation flowing, to buy time, to sound more natural.
Oh, these are so useful because one thing that makes people sound like they're struggling is long, painful silences while they search for words.
And the solution isn't to speak faster. The solution is to use these little bridge phrases that give your brain a second to catch up.
So what are some of them?
Okay, first, that's a good question. This is perfect when someone asks you something and you need a second to think. That's a good question. Let me think about that.
So natural. Nobody even notices you're buying time.
Let me think about that is another good one on its own. Or, how do I put this? Which means you're about to explain something and you're choosing your words carefully.
Oh, I use that one. How do I put this? It's kind of like...
Perfect. Then there's, you know what I mean? Said at the end of a sentence to check if the other person understands you. It's kind of complicated. You know what I mean?
That one's very conversational, very natural.
To be honest, or honestly, these are great for sharing opinions. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of that idea. Or, honestly, I was a little surprised.
And to be fair, for when you want to acknowledge the other side of something. To be fair, I can see why people think that.
Yes, to be fair, to be honest, to be clear, these are all expressions that give you a moment and also make you sound thoughtful and balanced.
What about when you agree with someone?
So many options. Absolutely, totally, exactly, I couldn't agree more, that's so true, you're telling me. This one is great. It means I know exactly what you're saying. I've experienced it too.
You're telling me. I love that one.
And on the flip side, when you disagree but want to be polite, I see where you're coming from, but, or, that's an interesting point, although, or, I hear you, but I kind of think.
I hear you. That's a good one. It means I understand what you're saying. I'm listening.
Right, I hear you, not literally, metaphorically. I hear you, but I'm not sure that's the best approach.
These phrases are gold, really. If you learn just these, your conversations in English will feel so much smoother.
And here's a tip. Don't just memorize them, use them today. Find a situation to use, to be honest, or you know what I mean? The more you use them in real situations, the more they become part of your natural speech.
I want to bring up something that people often overlook when they're trying to improve their speaking, and that's listening.
Oh, this is so underappreciated.
Because people think, I want to improve my speaking, so I should speak more. And yes, that's true, but you also need to fill your ears with natural English. Good input leads to better output.
Input and output. These are two sides of the same coin. You can't have good output without good input. A writer who never reads writes badly. A speaker who never listens speaks badly.
So the more you listen to natural, real English, podcasts, conversations, movies, series, the more your brain learns what English sounds like. And then when it's your turn to speak, it has all of that material to draw from.
To draw from, another great phrase. It means to use as a source. She draws from her personal experience when she writes. Or, I drew from everything I'd heard and just spoke naturally.
And when you listen, try not to pause and look up every word. Just keep listening. Try to understand from context. This is called extensive listening, and it builds fluency much faster than stopping and starting.
Right. There's intensive listening, where you study every detail, and there's extensive listening, where you just immerse yourself and let the language wash over you. Both are valuable, but extensive listening is what really builds fluency.
Wash over you. I like that image.
Isn't it nice? Like waves. Just let the English wash over you. Don't fight it, don't analyze everything, just absorb.
Okay, we've talked about solo practice, shadowing, talking to yourself, recording yourself, but at some point you need to practice with real people.
Which is the scary part for most learners.
The scary but absolutely essential part, because real conversations have things that solo practice can't give you. Unexpected questions, natural speed, different accents, the pressure of the moment.
And there are actually so many ways to find speaking partners now. Online, it's incredible.
It really is. There are language exchange apps where you can connect with native English speakers who want to learn your language. So you practice English with them for 30 minutes, then you help them practice your language for 30 minutes. It's a win-win.
And you can find English conversation groups on social media or community platforms. Just people who meet online or in person to chat in English. Very informal, very friendly usually.
And here's something important about conversation practice. Don't make it a quiz. Don't make it a lesson. Just have a real conversation about real things. Talk about your weekend. Talk about a movie you watched. Talk about something funny that happened to you. Natural topics create natural English.
Because the goal is communication, not perfection.
The goal is communication, not perfection. Put that on the wall somewhere, seriously.
And I think it helps to have some go-to topics ready. Things you can talk about comfortably. Your job, your hobbies, your city, your family. Things you find interesting. So when conversation starts, you're not scrambling to think of what to say.
Scrambling. To scramble means to move or react in a hurried, disorganized way. I was scrambling to find my keys, or I was scrambling to think of something to say. Very natural expression.
I love how you just slide in vocabulary like that.
Well, that's kind of our job.
Okay, let's make this interactive. We're going to give you some practice moments right now. If you're listening, pause us after each question and say your answer out loud. Don't just think it, say it.
Using some of the expressions we talked about today. Ready?
Question 1. What do you find most difficult about speaking English? Answer out loud. Start with, to be honest.
Pause.
Question 2. Describe your morning routine in English. Just a few sentences. Right now, talk to yourself or your phone. Just start.
Pause.
And question 3. Tell us about a time you felt nervous speaking English. What happened? Use the expression, you know what I mean, somewhere in your answer.
Pause.
How did that feel? Uncomfortable? Good. Uncomfortable means you're growing.
Let's do a quick recap of all the expressions and vocabulary we used today, because repetition is how things stick.
Automaticity. Doing something automatically without thinking.
Fake it till you make it. Act confident before you feel confident.
Pick up. To learn something naturally without formal studying.
Chunk. A group of words that go together naturally as a unit.
Pop out. To appear suddenly.
Self-awareness. Knowing and understanding your own behavior and thoughts.
Embrace the discomfort. Face and accept the uncomfortable feeling rather than avoiding it.
To draw from. To use something as a source or reference.
Scrambling. Moving or reacting in a hurried, disorganized way.
Trust the process. Believe in the method even without immediate results.
You're telling me. I know exactly what you mean. I've experienced it too.
To be honest, to be fair, to be clear. Transition phrases for sharing opinions thoughtfully.
I hear you. I understand your point. I'm listening.
Wash over you. To let something surround you and have a natural effect.
So let's bring it all together. What are the main takeaways from today?
Number 1, speaking and understanding are different skills. You have to practice speaking specifically, not just listening or reading.
Number 2, your mouth needs physical training. Use shadowing, read out loud, talk to yourself every day.
Number 3, learn in chunks, not single words. Natural English is made of phrases, not isolated vocabulary.
Number 4, think in English. Stop translating. Build your chunk library and let the phrases come naturally.
Number 5, don't wait until you're ready. Speak now. Make mistakes now. The fluency is on the other side of the fear.
And number 6, be consistent. Tiny practice every day beats a 4-hour session once a week.
And be patient. Trust the process. Your English is growing even when you can't feel it.
Now, we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments, what is the one technique from today that you're going to start using? Is it shadowing, talking to yourself, reading out loud, finding a speaking partner?
Or tell us, what's your biggest challenge with speaking English right now? We read every comment. Maybe your question will become our next episode topic.
And if this episode helped you, share it with someone who's learning English. You might just change their journey.
That's all for today. Keep your ears open, your mouth moving, and your English flowing.
We'll see you in the next one.
Take care.